All right, so the most popular junction knot, if I were tying on a new piece of tippet onto my existing leader that I'm going to use for trout fishing, is without a doubt a triple surgeon's knot. I'm going to use that 10 times more than a blood knot, and here's why. A triple surgeon's knot is meant to tie line of similar diameter. It's absolutely the easiest splice knot to tie. It's fast, it's quick, it's very strong, and it's neat. However, once we get to about 15 pounds or more, even 12-pound test or more, and that could be a 2X tippet or it could be just 15-pound test. I don't care how you measure it, but in that larger diameter line, it gets a little ugly. At that point, we'll switch to a blood knot, which I'll do in a different video. But if I'm just splicing on some 5X onto my leader, I'm going to use a triple surgeon's knot, and here's how easy it is. Let's just pretend I'm tying on, in fact, we're going to tie on the black piece here because it's a little bit shorter, and I'm going to tie it onto my existing tapered leader right here. The triple surgeon's knot, the #1 mistake people typically make with this is they tend to put the knot end to end when they're first learning how to do this, and they tie it that way. Knots should always lay in their natural position how you want them finished. So I'm going to take and I'm going to overlap these two lines just like that. And Tippet has a beautiful way of doing this, but it has memory and allows you to just kind of push it towards itself. My rope doesn't quite do the same thing, but it's so much easier for visualization purposes. But basically, I've not really done anything. This is behind the main loop right here, and this is the piece I'm tying on, and then this is what we're going to call our tag end. And the triple surgeon's knot is very easy to tie. I can literally tie it with my eyes closed. I've had somebody challenge me doing that one time, and I did it my first try. I've tied this knot so many times. But I'm just going to take these through once, twice, and I'm pushing away from me both the tippet and the tag end. You can see what's happening here. And then I'm just going to go through a third time, just like that right there. And what I'm left with is I'm left with that knot right there, and I'm left with 4 ends. I've got these two here. I've got these two here. At that point, I wet the knot. I pull it tight. The rope doesn't cinch up quite like Tippet does, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work it together so you can see what the basic structure of the knot is going to look like. And as long as it's light line, this thing cinches down. It's beautiful. It's non-obtrusive. You're barely even going to see it in the line. It's just going to be a little tiny bump. And I'm going to pull all 4 like that to seat it. And then I'm going to pull 2 like that, and my knot is done. I would get my nippers out, and I would trim this off, and I would trim that off. And that's a triple surgeon's knot. Great for light tippet. It also makes a really good way to make a 2-nymph junction as well. Whereas I might have 1 nymph on this line that I tied on, and I might leave this a little bit longer, and I could tie a nymph here. So it's got multiple purposes. You can splice on and repair a leader or change tippet size, or you can build a junction with this knot. Works fantastic for either of those purposes.